Hello everyone. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. In a second, I need to open my window. Ah, better. I can definitely feel the spring coming. Sudden burst of heat. Also, at the same time, do we even have a winter? A couple of cold days and that's it? Maybe winter is coming. Who knows? Alright, let's do this. Yes. Start playing from the saved data. Let's go.
The grand end of the century great exhibition of London. Surely there is not a soul who has failed to hear of it. Wondrous new works of culture and industry from every corner of the globe had converged on Hyde Park. Welcoming over 50 million visitors.
That's a lot of people.
The last great hurrah of this century. Astonished and delighted people of all nations, and ended on a note of resounding success. But as regards to the terrible catastrophe that occurred during the festivities, very few are aware my friend Mr. Herlock Sholmes had a hand in unraveling the matter. For from the shadows, it was he who earnestly unearthed the facts of the case.
Really?
And like the centerpiece of the great exhibition, which rose high into the skies of Hyde Park, Sholmes's brilliant deductions, as clear and lofty as the Crystal Tower itself, brought the truth to light.
Really? What happened? Someone died? Someone got
We're
bad?
here at the showground of the Great Exhibition, which is absolutely packed with people. The weather is unusually fine, and we're about to witness a most extraordinary scientific experiment. Ladies and gentlemen, the 20th century will see steam engines and electrical power dominate the world.
Whee!
Horse-drawn carts will give way to the motor car. Ships will sprout wings and take to the skies. And today, we showcase even more advanced technology. A glimpse into the future. A world first. A demonstration of my super high voltage instantaneous kinesis machine.
Kinesis machine? What the fuck is this?
A man will literally be disassembled by a pulse of high voltage electricity and beamed to another location.
What?
Whereupon his body will be reassembled by a
Teleportation?
series of complex calculations exactly as it was before.
Ah, that did not happen. That does not happen. He will get killed.
In but a few moments from now, this gentleman will, in the blink of an eye, complete an incredible journey through the air. To arrive an instant later on the Crystal Tower behind you!
That will not happen. You crazy scientist. Dead. Someone died? Is that what it is, Iris? No, that's not it at all. Today's paper, great exhibition. I mean, I would assume back in the day it was like such a big event too. End of a century event too. I mean, true life for the 21st century. Didn't have anything. The 20th. At least I don't remember having any big thing happening. Hello, DL. Oh wow! I was already always here. Half an hour already. Oh my. Breakfast? Lacking in dim? What? Thank you. I'm doing good. I am doing good. Don't leave my hair alone. It's the best hair ever. He's so rude. Talks about my hair not being haircut. Six months since I was forbidden from working in court. Okay, so we're into the future now, huh? Well, not future. Back to the timeline we were. Why did we get banned from the court? Because of the train thing? Down in the dumps? To the great exhibition? Why not? For what? How was your day, DL? Now, what happened 6 months ago? Okay, we're talking about the pawnbroker. Yet at the same time, unforgivable mistake, which is deplorable. No, it was because of that. Just a lazy Wednesday? Well, sometimes it's good. Sometimes it's good to have lazy Wednesday when you don't have, you don't do anything. It's good for the soul. And servant? Excuse you? The delightful Lord Chief Justice. Not your favorite fellow. Let me work. Everyone wants to go to the great exhibition, the most advanced science. I mean, for the back in the day, probably. 6 months of an exhibition? Wow, that's a long time. A flash. Yeah. Hot air balloon. Oh wow. Common knowledge, it is true. Hot air balloon is not even a thing anymore. Oh, there was a huge explosion. Oh no. We'd love to see this scam experiment really. Oh wow. It's a Thunderbird. Okay. Nothing happened. You're drawn to the darkness? Oh wow. Shadow cast behind. Is that a metaphorical way referring to the back page of paper? No! WDB. Back. Sorry about that. Alright, gloomy mood. What happened to your mood? Herlock, show 'em. You could say that, I suppose. No. What sort of case is this? Shh! Quiet! We will not discuss it here. In your house? You're acting very strangely early. It's strange. The more mysterious complicated cases, the better Hurley's mood. Is it really a case that's bothering you? Hey, yeah. Iris, please, you must exercise your astute power of observation. Without invitation. Put yourself in the shoes of an individual whom you're making deduction. Honey? I must make my way once to the crime scene. Was a deep sight. Yeah, I don't know about you, but Iris? No Iris. Iris. No Iris. Okay, bye. me see this. Eye of the London Night on the Crystal Tower. Every article on the front page is about the news about the great exhibition, public experiment to demonstrate brand new scientific ideas, cultural exhibit from around the globe, and also positive and hopeful about the coming century. We must all go to see it properly before too long. The Reapers attack? Is this? What? Lost cat. Reaper attack. That's Lord Van Zeke. That must be what Shom's talking about. Attack who? I'll present that to him. About this. Important blinks. All day out there. Oh, I have nothing to do. About this. Not another word. Ah, yes, I see. What do you see? This would be a collar for a breed of miniature canine? No. Excuse me. Woo. Your arm is in fact the particularly long neck of a miniature canine. What? Wanna see the Reapers attack? Thank you, Nia. It says in the paper that Lord Van Zeke was attacked. Oh no. Only two? Well, in fact, yes. Why did he get attacked, Baron Van Zeke? I mean, I already broke that. Even if the defendant is found not guilty, I mean, Natsume got out of it. You're missing Ares already? It's Iris, not Ares. What, are you playing? Did you buy the game or not? I mean, it's a good game, honestly. It definitely feels very different with the open world. I have been, you know, playing a little bit on my own with all the side quests and stuff. So, the world is very beautiful in there, that I can assure you. Even for the first part, you know, it took me a couple of hours at least to get all the side quests and whatnot. So, you need a PS5 first? I mean, sure. I mean, definitely it's a big game, I must say. I mean, imagine, you know, every single chapters. I believe they are like, what, 14 chapters? If I am assuming that it's the same number as the first one. And that would be a huge game. Because of the open world, of course. I mean, the open world definitely felt more vibrant compared to something like, you know, Forspoken or something like that. It's been attacked like this before. Maybe I'll play tomorrow on stream. Like I said, I already finished episode 2's side quest. Pretty much all of it. So I need to move forward anyway. It seems that it doesn't work armed with gun this time. Oh my goodness. He hurt my dear fellow. How on earth would I know? I don't know. In the article here says as to what Lord Van Zeke is his condition, all will be reviewed in tomorrow's morning edition. Oh my. What? Why does newspaper have cliffhanger like that? We shall have to be patient then. No! We shall have to inquire with somebody in the know. But who? Lord Strongheart. Hiya! Shameless liar, my dear fellow, what? You seek to put me off guard and follow me, don't you? Well, you would be wasting your time. Why would I be following? Why would I be following you, Sharks? Oh my. What is this? Sailor Moon? Got changed to go to the gray exhibition you're going to take me. You find it hard to justify paying 500 to play FF7 Rebirth, but there are no other games that you would like to play? Think about it. Do you own any other PlayStation system? If you do, did you make the buck out of it? I mean, FF7 Remake and Rebirth are great games. Elden Rings is a good game. Excellent game, in fact. You're still stuck on PS4? I mean, PS4, did you make the buck out of it? If you do, then you probably will be making the buck out of it with PS5. I mean, it's a steep price you might think, but it's still better than PS3 when it first came out. It was like 1K. You love this place? Interesting books? She was to return to Japan. You'll at least be able to play a PS4 game, you guess? You will. But look at the, games that are already out and will be coming out. See whether there are any interest to you. Then you decide from that. "26 seconds. I've kept you waiting a while." Yes, you did. Can I have my power to exercise as the lawyer back? Mayo Strongheart. Lord Chief Justice of London is the man who allowed me to stop practicing as a defense lawyer when I arrived in Britain as a student. You need only savor the air for a moment in this grand office to understand his preeminent stature. All of the games on PS5? Like what? Forensic Science Symposium. 40 countries around the globe will be taking part, including from your own land. Forensic science is the future, the world must embrace it. Okay? As we are the hosting nation, I have much to do. And it is my highest priority. If others must wait for my attention, then so be it. Oh. Princess Peach demo is out? Mine is a PS5 and PS4 exclusive. Are there that many games that crosses with the Switch and PS5? I mean, unless it's some indie games we're talking about, sure, but that's always been the case. Alright, take your time, Dia. But Orders! Permission to work. Let me work. 6 months ago, my right to work in court as a lawyer was revoked and I was told to spend my time studying. But the thing is, it made me understand what it really means to defend somebody under the rule of a foreign justice system, and I desperately want to have another go. Please, let me work. It won't get FF 15 or 16. I mean, well, yeah. FF 15 and 16, obviously F7 remake. You're not interested in those, you know, Elden Ring, Dark Souls, and whatnot. GTA. At best, you are a substitute for your compatriot. It was never your intended role. Excuse you? And my best friend on study tour. Probably 13. I mean, do you want 13 on the Switch? I wouldn't be here in this office now. That's why I can leave it unfinished. I have to fulfill his calling for him. His calling, you say, calling, someone is calling. That perhaps you know nothing of his true calling. The mission with which that your young law student was charged, what do you suppose it really was? Well, tell me, mission. Will be coming to. That's a big assumptions. Very, very big. I highly doubt the Switch 2 will be even as strong as the PS5 currently. Since I think it, well, I am almost 100% sure that it will go in the hybrid route. Like a home console mixed with, you know, being very portable. As such, the system would need to be less strong, as they always do. So I even doubt they will be on par with the PS5, even as a newer console. And for that, you know, even, I mean, FF7 or things like that, or even Elden Ring. Well, maybe not so Elden Ring, but still, it's definitely pushing the limits of the PS5 even. So if it's not as powerful as that, then they definitely won't have a chance of getting in the AAA big game. I mean, the Switch is definitely struggling, even with a lot of, you know, older games like Dying Light and whatnot. They had to do a lot of things. Have to add the cloud version, which means that you constantly need to be connected and stuff. So using a lot of battery and whatnot just to circumvent the ability to play. Oh yes. Professor from Germany tried to carry out a crazy experiment, exploded! Super high voltage instantaneous kinesis. Of course it didn't work. I mean, would it be as powerful as a PS4 Pro? I mean, at most I would say it's on par with the PS4. PS4 Pro? The man responsible was Professor Albert Harebrake? He was detained immediately after the incident and is due to appear in court tomorrow on the charge of murder. Oh shit. If you intend to take on his defense, you should hurry to meet with him in prison. There is very little left time for you to left. Why do you always do that? Not give me a lot of time. And murder, I fell out of my depth before I've even started still. We should go to the prison straight away then try to meet with this German professor, don't you think? And yes, one more thing about the case. There's a connection with our mutual acquaintances, the Reaper. All sorts of conferences have been taking place around the world to coincide with the great exhibition. The next month, the largest and the most important of them all will take place at last, which is forensic science. Ah, the next one, huh? So probably the next case will be concerning that. Maybe, I don't know. It does seem as though criminal investigation needs to embrace scientific methods, doesn't it? Exactly. London, the global epicenter of culture, science, and wealth, now has a population exceeding 6 million. Crime in the capital is growing at a similar startling rate, of course. Sure. I mean, it's always proportional to the... So it's imperative that we use the latest scientific method to investigate and resolve cases as efficiently as possible, which is what we've known as forensic science. Right? The future of policing. Regrettably, however, Britain is currently dragging its feet when it comes to adoption of forensic method. Dragging it? It's extremely alarming. So passionate about forensic science. If I were Her Majesty's Attorney General, you can be sure the number of crimes committed and resolved in London would be very different in the current figure. And I can cite 12 solid arguments and 223 individual reasons to support my claim. Wow. By the way, of apology for keeping you waiting earlier, I shall detail everyone on now. It all began 15 years ago. I was. Ah! I'm getting dizzy just by listening. Wow. Oh no, I'm coming back to my senses. Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? That's a lot of, rumors and whatnot. We'll see. I actually drifted off for the most part. He's surprised now out about forensic science. I want to know about this. The report of a woman's success of great exhibition, of course. No, not that one. The Reaper attacked. You've enjoyed some victories in court against my #1 prosecutor, have you not? What happened to him? Yeah, he wasn't killed, was he? There is no need for concern. Lord Van Zig would not be so easily dispatched, I assure you. Tell me more, tell me more. Emerged from the attack on Skye. Street ruffians are no match for that man. He's a very capable fighter. What was the attack? Related to event that occurred a month ago, a leader of one of the capital criminal organizations was indicted and prosecuted by Van Z. But the man was acquitted, of no doubt large sums of money were involved behind the scenes. By the freedom and deplorable situation, member of the jury were bribed, it seems. However, despite winning his freedom, the man in question met a dramatic end yesterday. Work of the Reaper? The victim's henchman certainly seemed to think so. He was a man by the name of Asman, Mr. O.D. Asman. Also, is slightly less powerful. Earlier report was saying it was on the level of Xbox Series S. I mean, like I said though, there are games that is definitely struggling even with PS5, graphically speaking. I mean, I see if it could handle Cyberpunk 2077, I doubt that as well. I mean, I think I said it on last stream. It almost seems like, you know, PS5 is struggling when I'm playing an FF3 Rebirth with some of the graphic. Cyberpunk 2077 was definitely very, very heavy as a game, and I can feel that when I play it. I mean, it's playable, yes, but there are definitely so many glitches and, you know, loading problems on my PS4. The problem still, some of the problem is still there when I play on my PS5, but then, you know, probably because of bug and whatnot. But Cyberpunk 2077, if you want to push it all the way to the higher end, the PS4 is not there. I mean, it's still playable, yes, but I mean, I guess I could say barely handles it. Yeah, but we're not talking about the same thing now. I mean, I can differentiate between bugs or simply the hardware being not able to handle it. There are a lot of bugs on Cyberpunk, yes. But still, they have to remove a lot of things, a lot of, you know, cell shading, loading, and all those kind of things for the PS4 to even function. And it still has a lot of problems and stuff. He's no killer, so he will continue the process on behalf of the crown. Unless he wishes otherwise, of course. I mean, he could. Could? Leaving you your assignment? Go ahead, sir. Oh, you 11 hours late. Well, now I'm back here for this engagement with you. So lateness, what is the matter of a time stop for no man? No. Found solid argument at 223. I didn't even own a PS4 Pro, no. Because I knew the PS5 was out, so I didn't want to buy the PS4 Pro. I never got the in-between for the PlayStation. Because usually that means that, you know, 1 or 2 years later, they will have a newer version, a newer console. So I never do that. Oh, that is a big picture in the background. Legendary Reaper's office. It sends a chill down your spine, doesn't it? This is like the first time I'm going to his office. What's this? He's as unwelcoming as I thought he'd be. Actually, maybe even more so. I'm glad to see you're well. I am. So who's the person over by the wall being punished for something or other? No punishment is taking place here. See? See? Apprentice? Who is that? Twice? I wanna say twice. I definitely wouldn't say it's twice. All the ultimate criminal investigation meant their arrest were imminent. Eh? He's always tackling, corrupting people. That's getting their riches by, scamming people. Which is? Oh, he was the one who died from an enormous explosion. Well, even then, like I said, there are games that, even the PS5 struggle. PS4 Pro don't have a chance. What? Who was a student, I was in the faculty of law, da 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 da. Met him since my university days. Certainly didn't expect our next encounter to take it this form. Will be handled by me. What? Many sounds you and the professor have been friends, yeah. We are friends, it's true. Then why would you do this? You want to prosecute him and get him, the verdict? I mean, here's the thing about Pro though. Even though, with the you know, 4.2 G-flop, probably running at the resolution of 4K. He's definitely pushing it for a lot of other stuff. I mean, natively speaking, it never does a 4K. Probably at the 30 frames per second, sure. I mean, natively speaking, I mean, yes, the Switch has the ability to output 1080p, but natively speaking, it never reaches that. No. I mean, heck, even the PS5 at 4K 60 frames per second is definitely pushing for some games. But I don't know, the trial ended in a conviction and acquittal. Depends on me or you. Those that persecute are the vilest wretches of our society. People who without question deserve to be found guilty. The world is a better place without them. You are wrong on so many. That's not true of Mr. Natsume, for example. He wasn't a vile wretches at all. No one's guinea. In fact, she ever so hardworking now. Huh? See how powerful Nintendo? I mean, if you are talking about Nintendo making powerful console, then I'll have to see. That's definitely not their way of doing it, but sure, I'll see. I can deny that since I encounter you, things have taken a turn, but the point is this. If any of those vile wretches that escaped justice subsequently die in mysterious circumstances, it was at the hand of their own kind. It's not my word. Lord Strona said the same. He believes you are not involved in any way, but you were attacked by those ruffians! The fact is, since people started to call me the Reaper of Bailey, the number of serious crimes in the capital has dropped substantially. Really? You're just gonna take it all on you? Ah, people call me Reaper, no more crimes in this capital. It will appear that even the most hardened criminals can be made fearful for their lives. Well, I'll be surprised. Well, surprised. No, I'm not surprised that it will have a new system. I'm more intrigued about specific specs and stuff. By all means, like Nintendo has never known for getting out powerful consoles, so on that department I have no expectation, so to speak. Will I like it a lot? Meh, we'll see. I mean, like I said, Nintendo, it's always one of those things. They have a tendency to skip a generation. Of a console, at least for me. Like, so, I don't know. Wii U was like, eh. The Wii was a phenomenal success. Wii U, eh. Nintendo 64, absolutely a phenomenal success. And then after that, we have the GameCube, which is like, eh. Was it bad? No. So, I have to see. I'll probably still buy it and enjoy it, yes. But... I mean, this is someone sitting like that before, here's a move. He wouldn't be sitting up, would he? Well, anyway, dead or alive, he's not overly approachable. See, I don't think he's going to. Alright. Why is there so many barrels? Was GameCube a powerful console? I don't think so. Fine vintage! It has potential? What potential? What potential with the Wii U? Tell me, Thunderbird. What kind of potential are we having? It's not as strong as the competitor. It's not portable, even though it tries to be portable. So the Wii U wishes to be the Switch, but it never was. That's how I would like to call it. What powerful? What potential does it have? I mean, it's a home console and that's it. It does not have all the other qualities that, you know, Switch has. I mean, it tries to be everything, but it fails at everything. It's trying to be portable, it's not. It's trying to be like a, you know, home system, like the Xbox is doing. So that's why they have like YouTube, all those kind of, you know, things. It fell at the end, we all know that. No one uses that. It tries to be a home console, but it does not beat, you know, any other system. You have to use the gamepad at the same time. You use all those kind of things. The gamepad is clunky. It's what potential does it have? It has no potential. It tried to be ambitious, yes. Potential. And that's one of those things why third party does not want you, because it has to cater for, you know, instead of catering for the system itself, you know, he has to cater for everything. The gamepad, the system, this and that, you know, motion control and everything. And it's not on point, so it has so much limitation. It's trying to do too much. That's one of those things that I feel like, you know, you try to be overly ambitious and fails. That portrait does not depict me. Surely that's immediate obvious. Told me. Then who is it? Napoleon? There was a reaction? I mean, I thought that it's common knowledge. I don't understand this being too busy in person, because he's too embarrassed to queue up for a ticket. I'm using it as an investigative aid. Uniformly, some no business painting auto has overly reserved. You have so many glasses. Finest great from the finest fine. Yes, because this imbecile is so unimaginably and repeatedly wild. Mark sometimes. What? What are you calling imbecile? Before you open your mouth next time, you should consider the poor artisan whose work you defiled. You defiled it! You rude. So stylish. Marble chest, wow. That's worse Western version of a Japanese shogi. Or shogi. Shogi? Shogi? Always do that on your own at home, man. Could I present something? Oh yes, you see there was a reporter nearby when the little skirmish took place. Little skirmish? I had no idea I'd been photographed. It was careless of me, wow. After the people who attacked you have run away though. Rest assured, the police have already apprehended every last one of them. But there's someone else fighting alongside you with them. That sir over there? As I mentioned already, he's my apprentice. Perhaps you could tell us a little more about him? Tell me more, tell me more. He's in my tutelage to become a prosecutor, so you could say he's my apprentice, I suppose? You are too early then, Bruno. I don't remember taking an apprentice into a great detective. I wonder if a lawyer, not a detective. Compiling a report about last night's attack. Looks like he's wearing some kind of mask. Tuxedo command! On Lord Strongheart's order. Really? He gave him an order to wear a mask? Lord Strongheart's order again? He's not one for meaningless follies. There will be a good reason for his action. Meh. Meh. Who are you? The heck? He has the eyes of a killer. The task is complete. Good. In that case, you can collate all the briefs. What kind of brooch does he have here? Just disappears like that. Back to work again. Excuse you. Somehow it didn't feel like our first encounter, so I know him. He says nothing to anybody from outside this office. Lord Stronghearts has strictly forbidden it. Asugi? It tried to be a powerful console, but it's not though. See, it's one of those things like, you know, with life in general. If you try to be something and you're truly not, you're just miserable. I mean, a lot of people do that too. Like if you're poor but you try to look like, I don't know, some upbring somewhere with $1 million, you try to buy every single stuff. At the end of the day, you're not. Be yourself. Be happy with yourself. Like, be happy with yourself. It's one of those things. One on Earth did twice in succession 6 months ago with the stoop and the mustache and the gym. Mr. Natsume! Be very pleased to find out you identify him from that list. Yay! Why am I smiling? I mean, it's more like a mockery and stuff. I mean, you guys all know one of those type of people who try to be something that he's not, or she's not. And we all have to, well, some people don't, but I mean, usually, generally speaking, people pretend like, yeah, you are. But then at the same time, everyone knows, like, oh, what is he even pretending to be? Like, this is ridiculous. You know what I mean? One of those type of things. Same thing with the Wii U. You just try to be everything and be sold as one of those home console. And yeah, the moment you tried it, you're like, oh, what the heck? What is that? We've been lied to. It's a scam. He's asking after Soseki-san. After Nipponese, I'm not sure whether to feel happy about that or worry. Would be friend with a mad scientist. Why wouldn't he? He looks like a mad scientist himself. Professor Hairbrain. Oh, let's move to the prison. And meet our defendant over there. You had some success? Define success. Albert Hairbrain. What are you looking at? You fail at your thing. Instant teleportation? Hairbrain? I'm Yunosaki Naruhodo. I'm a defense lawyer. Lawyer! Hi! I am. Would you be here about the experiment? Are you going to defend my hypothesis? Maybe not. Oh, Breath of the Wild. I mean, the success I would attribute to the game itself, not the system. Until they figured that Wii U is dying, so they have to make a port to the Switch. Breath of the Wild, that is. Yes, I will agree those games are a success. If you want to see that as a success, yes. I mean, I guess the only one I will attribute, you know, is Mario Maker 1. Even Mario Kart 8 and Breath of the Wild has migrated towards the Switch because it knows that the ship itself is sinking. Move! Move! So like, you know, I know I'm good, but you guys are not good enough, so I'm gonna move to another house. That's pretty much what it is. That's a good example of, you know, showing the Wii U is bad. That's exactly that. We'll put another play. What happened? Why did you think that you can teleport me? It was a failure. It was a great success. How? Spontaneously disassemble? I mean, he got disassembled, alright. Root to the Wii U? I mean, I wish the Wii U to be good, but it was not. Like I said, you know, Nintendo has a tendency to skip a generation. It does good one generation, you know, decent, and the other one excellent, and one decent. Wow, kind of bad at the other one. It does that. Simply an accident. He got disassembled. I mean, the only reason why I ever bought the Wii U was for Mario Maker 1, and that's it. Not even Mario Kart, not even... Well, Breath of the Wild, I already got it, so it was not even... I mean, like I said, it has success, but it's attributed to game and not the console. So, whereas the Wii U, the moment it came out, no matter the game. So the success itself, it's on the game and the hardcore fan, and not by the console. Is what I'm trying to say. Hello, like Gazer. They'll be able to copy my idea. I'm a precious apple stolen. The machine must be protected. You're not getting Star Trek zooming, beaming teleportation, hey Airbrain? That's why it's imperative this whole incident is shown to have an incident. Okay. Instantaneous kinesis. There was a terrible accident at the Great Exhibition Showground yesterday. Wow, like it. How you doing? Having a nice rant? I mean, it's not a rant about, you know, more than stating the matter of facts. I mean, it's something of the past, so I don't rant too much about the past. To break those bonds, beam the particle through space. Yo, that's in a nutshell, that's the idea. You see, you want to disassemble particle, a human being, and then beam that through a space, instantaneous teleportation. Even in our century, we cannot achieve that. Although I would like to see it, but it's not working right now. But dare to imagine it, dare to dream of such incredible technology. Just think, one moment I could be here in the cell, and the next, I could be at the Great Exhibition again. Wow. I could be at the Great Parisian Theater. Wow. Nothing special though. Why do you always want to know about my work? I mean, it's not that interesting. If you could travel anywhere in the world instantly, the planet would really seem vast anymore. It has shrunk? My word, that's exactly right. So we can travel the space? That would be very interesting. I mean, space has, you know, outer space. Wait, it is, yeah, not just because you can doesn't mean you should. Wow. My calculation is flawless, they are not. But without practical demonstration, mean nothing, and that's always in the fly in the ointment. Costs a lot of money, money that young scientists like you don't have. He says the government should invest more in science. Well, anyway, I bumped into him at the right time. I met the well-known investor, Mr. Assman. He's a friend of yours from your university today. He was studying law while I was studying science. A good question. Unassuming, gentlemanly, and all-around nice fellow. Really? I think you misheard me. I'm talking about the cold-hearted, merciless, prosecuted Baron van Zeke. Talk about leading question. An unassuming, extremely pleasant gentleman. After all, he is the little darling of Van Zeke family. With all its great aristocratic origins, huh? Such a noble blood, little darling. It was a bit of a shock when I came to the Britain and learned what he became. The Reaper of Bailey, no less. I did hear, though, that there was a very big event in his life that completely changed him after graduation. Tell me, what is the great event? But I don't know anymore. I wasn't in the country at the time, I was in Germany already, oh shit. I really don't have the heart to tell him the Lord Van Zeke will be the prosecutor tomorrow. How was my day? Also not very interesting. Listen, not everyone has like, you know, interesting days, stuff happening every day. Like I did my stuff. I woke up, I ate, I trained. It was raining, so I did not even go outside. Watch TV. Play some you know, FF Rebirth. He was prepared to fund a practical demonstration of my hypothesis for presentation at the Great Exhibition. That went well. I could expect additional financial support from a research for British government. An exceptional engineer. He produced a machine to my precise specification. Ah, but then your dreams will blow to dust in one enormous explosion. Straight to the point, Iris. Straight to the freaking point. I would never, ever have thought of taking the man's life. I mean, you were talking about disassembling a person, though. Let me just make absolutely sure I've understood you properly. The huge explosion that occurred yesterday, that was an accident, you're saying. You had no intent to harm the victim, who was in fact the sole investor in your work, is that correct? It's true that the man perished in a machine of my invention, so I know that I'm far from blameless in all this, but still, I will never use my discovery, my invention, to take a person's life, not in a centillion years. Oh shit. I'm a man of science, it's all I know, you have to believe me, please. Fine. Do you believe in my hypothesis? Is a pursuit of truth, you know, I always believed that all my life. I'm afraid I don't know much about science or their theory, but I do believe you, and I will fight to prove you're innocent with all my might. When I went to live in Germany after I graduated, I learned something very important. Nationality, class, lineage, none of that matters. As long as you try your hardest. From Germany? You must not know Hitler. I mean, wait a couple of years, you will see that, you know, someone else disagree with you. Holy mama, that some person that does disagree with you will go on a rampage about it. For the Aryan race. That's what the incident happened, isn't it? Let's go. For example, I find this wet laboratory code that worked for my very bracing too. However, in my case, there's a perfectly logical reason for that feeling. I purchased the wrong side by mistake. This one is too small for me. The sleeve especially are extremely bracing. I can barely move my wrist. Experimental stage. Foot of the Crystal Tower. We've been walking around in dense crowds for 2 hours now. I felt myself swooning 3 times. A lot of people out there. I almost been thrown on 3 times too. Be careful, won't you, Iris? Don't let go of my hand. She is a kid, 10 years old. Wow, something exploded. What happened today? I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, stuff is probably happening today. What happened today? I've had it with you this time morning. I'll arrest you in a minute. Give it a shot. You ain't got no evidence. You know it. Oh, it's gay. Cheeky little mother, you lady at night in the cell will teach you some manners. Just try it. I dare you if you want a big old chips rammed down your throat. Yoo-hoo! Grexy! What are you doing up there? Grexy! It's you here. You're here. Here you are. You here. Ladyship. I do hope you're well, your ladyship. Does that make her 3 times a lady? I'm not well at all. It's far too busy everywhere. I wanted to ride in a balloon, but there was 3 hours queue. Unbelievable. I'll go have a word for you at 1:09. You'll be flying as high as a kite in no time once I pull some string for you. Tobias Gregson, an inspector at Scotland Yard. Until recently he was suspended from duty, but it would appear he's back in action now, huh? He's actually quite well known, appearing as he does in the adventure of Sherlock Holmes. And for that reason he can say a word wrong to the story's author, Iris. Ah, you meant Haley's, Nikki Haley's. She dropped out of the things. 3? Who's the third one? Let me know on this case. I'm acting for the defense. Yay. I mean, for you guys, yes. I don't have to choose. I mean, I don't get to choose. Robert Kennedy Fellow. Sure. You could stand to carry a bit more copper around in your pocket now, though. You can have it back, but I have to charge you for all the bottle, $3. Pickpocket! What are you doing here, Gina? Diver, pickpocket, what's with all the name calling? Wanna back up to ram down your throat and all? I thought you were proud to be a diver, Gina. Would I like to choose one of them? Yes. Would I like to? Probably not like is a strong word, but I would definitely choose one. Just so that the other would not. Isn't it with all elections, like, you look at the two candidates like, let me choose the one that, you know, opposite to the one that, you know, absolutely don't want to be upset. No, Inspector? This Inspector Boy is an entirely accurate, no one calls her dad. For what it's worth anyway, investigating is off the card for all of us. What do you mean? Right, well, I'll back up top. You hold the fort down here, alright? Alright, sir. No one likes the first two candidates. I mean, the first two candidates, there's one that is worse than the others. Gina. The case I was working on at the time, she was living in the East End with a group of other orphans. She helped me, but then she got embroiled in a murder, double murder in fact. I had a lot of time to think in prison. I realized I couldn't go on like I was. The diving weren't working out. Oh, I'm so pleased to hear that. Well done. Good for you. So you went from being a pickpocket to a detective? You got it. Good, innit? Inspector Lestrade sounds like something out of a book. And then there's Iris Ullman to think about. I promised her, didn't I? I get all the police. Good. To pull out all the stop lookings for him. Just a small promise, then nothing serious. Right? I mean, Iris' dad is already dead, we know that. Ogini made her sort of an apprentice. Gregson's apprentice is Guinea? A pickpocket? Really? You're just finding ways to make people do what you want. So the long and the short it is, if you've got a question about the case, you can ask Inspector Lestrade. Six months ago, Sheena was defended in a trial prosecuted by the Reapers. I should have done a second FF7 reverse stream today. Why? Only because you wanna see it? I'll do one tomorrow. But at the same time, you know, you were ranting a lot about, you know, FF7. Why are they making it such a long thing? I cannot wait anymore. So I would understand your sentiment. I'll do one tomorrow. At least I'll try. Rainy block pull above the levers on the machine suddenly stopped billowing smoke. Then just went pop! Seen a better experiment here yet? You mean you saw it? So Gina is gonna be one of those, you know, witnesses. The boss is in charge here, ain't he? Keeping everything running smooth, and he and the boss being Inspector Gregson. Yes. That's going to take some getting used to. So all I have to say is that I'm on duty, I can do whatever I want. You were up in one of them flying balloons. I mean, as long as not the giant balloon of Hindenburg, fine. I mean, I guess, you know, I should move on with the FF7 Rebirth too. Like I said, I finished all the side quests, so I need to move on and pass, you know, Midgard Sommer or Zulu. It was a success in a way. Surely after the whole machine blew up, no one could call the experiment a success. Like I said, it did sort of work. There was a load of smoke and that whooping great bang. But where you think they found the victim's body? In the Crystal Tower? Really? In the tower? Up there, the scaffold. He got blasted all the way through that. The cage with the victim got in to start with really did get beamed through the air or whatever and landed all the way over there. So yeah, see, it did kind of work, didn't it? No way. I don't get ins and out of it, but anything's possible with science, eh? I mean, I hope the reason for the delays is to make it even more pretty. Like I said, from what I'm seeing here of the remake and Rebirth, almost feels like a entirely different games, so to speak. I mean, it makes sense though, at least for me, from remake to Rebirth. Like, remake is very streamlined, so even though it does not give you the feelings of being very streamlined, it still kind of is. You move on from one map to another and so forth, and they are not explorable open world map. Now comes Rebirth with the open world map. Lots of exploration you can do, a lot of stuff that you've already seen on my last video. So a lot of things that were not present in the first game is here. Like, the sense of exploration is so much bigger here compared to the first one. It's not even comparable. That's why I said it kind of feels like a different game than I'm playing. Whereas the first one is really like an RPG, you move on one scenario to the others. The second one feels more like I'm playing... Well, you said Breath of the Wild, it's not that bad of a comparison. Hello Ali. It's definitely not that bad of a comparison, so it's definitely like, you know, different games. And because being such a different games, I understand why they have to make it, you know, well, they have to have such a big delay between the two games. Now the question arises as to whatever they're gonna put on the third game. But seeing what I'm seeing from Remake and Rebirth, I can sort of understand that. I mean, there were no exploration whatsoever, there were no chocobos in the first one, so you cannot even do that. They have to implement all of that, I think. So yes, it plays very differently, is what I'm saying. Even the gaming mechanics feel different, even though, you know, looking at it right now, it's not. But a lot of the characters play very differently from the first one. Having played both of them, I can assure you it feels different. Very different. Even the entire system is different. Yes, materia is still here. Still have to level up the materia and stuff. But the entire concept of leveling up your weapon in order to get a skill is no longer present. So even the gaming mechanics, how you level up your characters is different. The synergy between different characters also plays very different. A lot of, you know, balancing issues. Even they said it, you know, nothing. What things that you got on the first one will not be transferred into the second one because they need to, you know, rebalance everything out. So you need to start afresh because, you know, generally speaking, the game plays differently. So even the leveling system is different. Everything is, well, most of the things are different. So that's why, you know, all of the games are standalone. That's their vision of the thing is. The story will move on, yes, except for the story moving on. But other than that, though, you really have to play it in order for you to feel the difference. I mean, I playing it, the gameplay, you know, if you've seen it on stream, doesn't look that much different, but it's definitely different. Even the materia is different. And how are you doing, Ali? How are you doing today, Ali? Were you having a good day? You had a good day, nice. I need to cut my hair. Look, my hair is getting long now. It's getting on my nerves. No, I don't have any interesting days. No. Typical Wednesday. Yes, it's raining outside. Well, at least for the entire day. Now it's not raining, but it was raining outside, so I did not go outside. I did not do a lot of stuff. Lazy Wednesday, as you know, DL would have put it. You know, I was just, you know, at home doing my stuff, playing some games and whatnot. Train a little bit. Days off today? Yeah, I had day offs. That's why I say it's not even very interesting. Even going to work is not interesting every day. Was enjoying the company? Not really. I mean, he does what he does all the time. He comes, wants to have some pets, and then after that move on. I mean, define interesting. I mean, I don't want interesting day. If you, by interesting, you mean I have, you know, some special event going on at work. Usually special event at work for me means that, you know, something bad is happening. So no, I don't want it interesting. It must have been magnificent explosion. I've seen my fair share. You've seen things like this before? One is always doing experiment that end in a bang. Oh shit. In fact, in its own word, explosion is the very essence of chemistry. Oh crap. Although I did, you know, make quite a couple of beakers explode back in the days. He made something nice with such a force he took the roof off the building. I wish you'd been here to see it. No, I don't want to. This has to get excited about that given that I now live in the roof. That's enough about that. It's time to investigate. Rexon! You just look confused to me. Oh, he does. Rexon! What we're looking at. Cat-like company, they might not care and do their business? Yeah, I mean, like as a tiger is tiger. He comes in, get a couple of, you know, meows, a couple of pets, and then he wants to get out. There was some drama involved between two of your friends on Discord and they both were talking to me about it. It was over salmon run and all things. How should I know? A child wanted sushi, you mean? From what I can tell, I think you were pulling this lever here. Stop! Don't touch that, it will explode. Practical instantaneous kinesis the way you flew over just now. Please, your ladyship, I didn't mean to startle you, but I can let you touch anything up here. Have someone relate a special blend for it. Yay! Get out of, you know, my laps. Get out of the room, get out of, you know, whatever. I wanna go outside. I mean, you know what, lately he does wanna go out on the balcony. Maybe he likes snow, but at the same time he does not. Like, he gets out, look at the stuff. Like when there's snow on my balcony, he's like, I ain't stepping in that. But at the same time he's curious about it. More red tape. Oh, I did buy, you know, a carrier for him. I mean, I already have a carrier, but I want one of those backpacking things. So he came today, I did not even see it. It's a side box. I mean, he does not like my huge box and stuff. Like the huge carrier I have, like, you know, the normal carrier and stuff. Maybe with a backpack he would be more willing to. I don't have to fight him when we go to the vet or something. Who knows? I wanna see the box. The box looks kinda small. This is like a small box, but not big like this. Like my chest. Not my chest. Oh, I guess I could. I'll put it on autoplay so I can open the box at the same time. Carrying something so dangerous, yeah, explosion happened, huh? All new science and technology at the moment. Alright, boxes. Ow! Hurts. And what source of right are we talking? They're making so that any theory the brain have remained their legal property. Okay, so we have a little bit of a cushion here. Velvety. Has a Velcro on the back of it here. I mean, it's definitely cardboard. But that's, you know, where Tiger is gonna be. It seems kinda small for Tiger. So you'd be constantly be standing or sitting. And And now I have this mess here. I don't know what this is. Good. What the? How do I? Oh, so it's like this. It opens up like this. So there's zippers down the line here. So I can, you know, collapse it all the way. Yeah, some shit like that. So I collapse it like this. So this is collapsible. Nice and round room. Kinda, you know, wide like this. So if I put on the zipper, so stuff like that. So the Velcro goes, no, this little pad here, which is a little bit, you know, soft pad, goes in like this, goes in here. Drop it down there. Just put on the zipper. And then voila! That's the backpack. It's wide like this. Although as wide as me. I mean, I can probably fit it in. I can also open up here so that I can put it from up here down into the backpack. There are a couple of side pockets here. The side. Some pockets down here. Very readable. I mean, even the side window can be opened up. And of course, like I said, it's a backpack, so there are two straps here. Two straps that I can use here. The good thing about this strap is like, you know, there's a little buckle here that I can use, so if it's too heavy, probably not. There's one buckle here, yeah, that's the only one that I have. Then probably, you know, I can't open it. It's kind of like that. Oh no, wait, there's another buckle down. Or waist. And it's not. That's it. Have it on my back. Ugh. I can carry it in like this. Then put on the buckle. I mean, it seems neat. So to speak. I mean, that's what it is. Then when I don't use it, collapse it back out. Do the entire thing. Open them up like this and put them inside and zip the thing. I don't need it. Alright. I mean, we'll see whether, you know, Tiger would enjoy. I mean, enjoy it. But as long as it does not whine as much, I'm fine with it. Crying whenever I want to bring him somewhere, not a problem. I mean, whether he wants to or not, he's gonna get in, I don't care. I mean, like I said, you know, generally speaking, I don't bring him out as much, even though, you know, I got it right at the end of summer, so it kind of makes sense because it's getting a little bit cold outside, so I don't want him to catch a cold or something. But Tiger is old. He is. What about it? What about him being old? Special dispensation for scientific equipment. How many years old is he? He is 11 and a half. All I have to do is present the idea and invention to some suit in civil service, and if it gets a rubber stamp, that's a guarantee of right to maintain the invention confidentiality. Super is the papa. Think about it, think of all the board-changing new invention on display every day of this book exhibition. I mean, Super cannot be that bad. I mean, he almost have the same age. Tiger is like 11 and a half years old yet. I mean, usually when I bring out the carry, it's to bring him to the vet or, you know, take a shower at the pet store. Into the backpack, he does not have a choice. If he's going to the vet, he does not have a choice, so he is going into the backpack, I don't care. I mean, he enjoyed going to the backpack, you know, I would, you know, bring him to a park or something, I don't know. Well, there's a point sadly. Thanks to another one of our garden bright ideas, if any theories or invention seems to show potential, the government hands over research. All these shamans coming from far and well to clog up Hyde Park, and who has to keep them all safe? Who has to smile politely welcome them as coppers? We all cop back in the day, hasn't it? I mean, they still do. Maybe I can see your point. Came back to Britain especially for the Great Exhibition, as I understand it. Probably after one of the government research grants, actually, we learned something else about the professor earlier today, which is about his time in further education. It turns out it was a university with somehow, well, we know Lord Van Zeke. Yeah, we know that. That's news to you, but if Van Zeke needs to prosecute, then has accused the professor's fate is dead. Sealed? Because the Reaper will get him one way or another? Blimey! That man's beyond me, I don't know what goes in his head. Neither do I. Read the story of being able to read that? Yeah, I read that. But Mr. Reaper is completely fine, nothing to worry about. Yes, right. Glad to hear it. You don't seem glad. Seal the Reaper? How long is that business gonna keep up, I wonder? Mystery of the Reaper. Investor Mr. Asman. He was another of the Reaper's victims, or so I heard. Lord Baron Van Zeke is top cat prosecutor, but even he can always push the right verdict though too. Sometimes justice can win. I heard about jurors being bribed and evidence being falsified, and that's how the notion of Reaper of Lady came out. Okay, obviously Scotland Yard suspected Van Zeke initially. We all assumed he was taking matters into his own and he failed to seal the deal in court, although the man himself denies that charge. Well, we've done a very thorough investigation and the conclusion we reach is that Lord Van Zeke is in no way related to the death of those people outside the court. There's no question in my mind I'll stake my reputation on it, I would. But if that's it, how do you explain it? How do I explain it? How do you explain it? Although creatures have coincidentally die if nobody killed them, I know, but I can't explain it. The mystery after all, isn't it? That's the whole point of the Reaper, huh? Professor Hairbrain mentioned something else. He said that at university love as Zeke was totally different person, easygoing and kind. He said that was after they both graduated and something happened to change the man. Yeah. Tell me! Brexit! No clue! Suck. Why don't you go and make a nuisance of yourself elsewhere? How dare you! You know something you're not telling me, Gregson. Oh, it's bad. I mean, this shit myself. Do you really think this machine could actually disassemble people? We're talking about disassemble people, gross. Looking totally incredulous. Give it a rest, Sunshine. If we were allowed to examine all the bleeding scrap metal, maybe we could answer that question. But we can't, can we? Look at the base of the machine there. There's a tool of some kind poking through the wire mesh. What is this? It's a screwdriver. That's a weird shaped screwdriver. The handle is the shape of capital letter A. I'm very curious about this screwdriver. Very curious. Of course, you ladies, you're so clever, fancy spotting something like this. But I'm afraid I can't let you have it. Oh crap. Sure, I'll investigate it through. You cannot! He's gone off with it. Very clumsy and embarrassing mistake in next month's installment now. Poor Grexy. What the heck is this thing? There's a couple of rebar. I need that A-shaped screwdriver. I don't think I... Wow, I see the background. Ah. Steely Samurai? Charm Mage top note I put at you. From the trim chasm I gave him a year ago. Ferris wheel? That's a Ferris wheel. Wait, is the Ferris wheel moving or is it always staying the same? It is moving, right? Oh no, it's moving very slowly. I don't see anything else I can investigate, though. Almost looks like a gun. What the heck is that thing? What is that beaming thing? Is that supposed to be shooting the disassembled human all the way? The electron or something? Better lawyer now? Good for you. Alright, Susato is still in Japan. Huh? I wanted to keep it ready for Miss Susato in case she was able to return to Britain. Maybe after this case, or in the last case. There's still 2 cases after this one. Move. I don't know where to go though now, I'm stuck. I need to do some more investigation. Cannot converse, so definitely at the experimentation stage. What is this thing? Oh, hit? What is this thing? Mysterious contraption, a very curious device found behind a tree under the experimental sayable have been hidden there delivered. What is this? Bloody hell, a ripped piece of clothes with bloods on it. Canvas, and there should be a big chart as well. Maybe that means it has something to do with the explosion. A torn piece of canvas like material canvas. Back with rubber. Certainly a apt name. It was built to be a focal point of the exhibition, and it definitely is, being so tall with all glasses. I can imagine a building like this ever being erected in Japan. Art gallery, a zoo, and a museum in the tower? A zoo? Thanks to that accident, the whole tower is shut. Certainly it's not the crystal tower anymore, but the crystal glass shower. Apparently everyone taking to the sky now to look down on the disaster area from above is dead. But there's a 3-hour queue to go up in a balloon now. She's mentioning so much about the 3-hour queue. Maybe we need to do that. Let me see what I have. This mysterious contraption. There's a handle. There's a picture. Wait, is that an arbalest? Well, seems like, you know, it has a trigger, shoot an arrow. Yeah, it's a bow and arrow. crossbow. Weapon found behind a tree. Why is that a crossbow here? Thunderbird, did you kill anyone? It's a rubber. Layer of thick canvas with a thick rubber lining of sword. Fancy crossbow. It does look very fancy. When the person was struck by lightning. But it has rubber lining though, so it should not conduct electricity. Since it's rubber. Alright, you're assuming that? 30 feet above the ground, apparently that's what the policeman and I just spoke. Sorry, it's about 9 meters. But soon you'll see, have seen in London and Yeruno, it's time you got used to a measurement! Who likes to use feet versus meters? This thing is so tall the spectator at the front would just have seen a wall of nothing else. Probably thought they secured the best spot to watch from, only to be disappointed. The darkest spot is right under the lighthouse. Oh, that's a nice saying. Darkest spot is right under the lighthouse. It feels like it probably applies here. That presents some shit. It doesn't seem like there's anything else. Definitely does not look like it. Ain't nothing over here. Yeah, why would I want to investigate? Very analytical. Yeah, about that. Yeah, there's absolutely nothing I need here. So where am I gonna go from? Not here. Is it? Not here. I cannot even present anything. Huh. He's gone. Yeah, Francis is gone. Hello, Spoopy. You're going to sleep? Go to sleep. He's ignoring me. How dare you? The prosecution and defense should avoid speaking outside of the courtroom as a rule. So if anyone is being rude here, it's most certainly the man in black. Oh, I see. Well, thank you for setting the record straight. You're gonna go? Alright, yeah, you have a good night. Spoopy is going to sleep too. So I am stuck missing a clue somewhere, huh? Definitely from the experimental stage. Where am I missing? Have I missed? I don't have many viewers tonight. It's Wednesday. It happens. What am I missing? What the heck am I missing? Oh, I can move up. That's what I'm missing. Instant kinesis, death of course, yet they are calling the experiment a success. Golden scaffold. The coppers our lads set that up after the incident happened to get the body down. Matter? Lookout duty, more my thing, wandering around the exhibition and keeping a lookout for the fun stuff. Mind Gregson doesn't hear you saying that. Bridge the gap by some sort of invisible kinesis. Listen, I've been thinking. Early might know something, might he not? Something very significant occurred after he graduated university. Why are we talking about his life though? We should be finding clues. Madame Tuspel. Very close to Baker Street. Actually, we could go now if you like. No, we don't have time for visiting attraction today. We have a big trial tomorrow. But that's where Hurley is. What? How is it that you know where he is? Hurley told me, but he told me to keep it secret from you. Why? Stranger things have happened, and when they happen, Mr. Shom is usually at the heart of them. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Madame Tuspel. What is this place? 22nd of October. Museum of Waxwork. Aye! It's a waxwork. Terrifying scene. Why are all those people so still? They're wax. Guillotine, a ruthless murderer. I know what I'm dreaming about tonight. They are amazingly realistic. Not all wax figures are amazingly realistic. Wax models. I read about dead body and wax ones in a magazine about strange phenomena. Depending on how corpses are kept after death, parts of them can turn to wax apparently. What? It's called adipocere? Stop talking of a creepy thing, adipocere? Is that a real thing? Is that a real thing? Turning to wax? What is that? A grayish waxy substance formed by the decomposition of soft tissue. Waxy though? Okay. Doesn't form readily, you know? It's only a very specific condition. About strange phenomena? There was an old lady, maybe a witch, who used to pour molten wax over corpses and put them on display. None of the exhibit key in here are real. About wax people? Yeah. They're all entirely man-made replicas. They can be. Do you expect me to believe that? Just look at them, they're real. There's no way anybody could make model of people that are this realistic. And they are all such gruesome scenes. And there's Sholmes. I must be seeing things. Sholmes becoming wax figured. Wait, why is there a hand over here? What is this? That's an arm. It was actually a little bit scary. One of the mass murderer in here. Come on, you're always pointing that figure of yours in court. Poke that arms now. See how it feels. Objection! He does not want to touch the corpse. So well made, I can't really tell what the wax work, what's real human. The one seated is real people. All the visitors have gone home, they suddenly start moving about. Whoa! Wax museum is scary, eh? I mean, imagine the wax figure moved on its own. Called Jane the Ripper. All her victims were young women. You can tell by the way she's holding the knife. Sure sign of a murderer. I work it out. I know what she's doing. She's trying to fill the bathtub with blood so she can have a soak in a victim's core. Ew. Not according to the information about the exhibit on the little board here. It doesn't mention anything about the bathtub. I think so, it is. I still think it has to be there for some reason. Has to. There is a Jane the Ripper now. No longer Jack, there's also Jane. Well, he's world famous after all. That's a real one. But look, Bruno, you can kick this Hurley and he doesn't move a muscle. Kick him. You can't go around kicking the exhibit Iris. He's moving. It just moved, I'm sure, not just a little bit either. Let me kick you. He's blinking. There are beads of sweat on the face of this waxwork model. It's not a wax figure. Shall we move on, Iris? Over there, look, there's a great murder scene to enjoy, much more appealing. My dear fellow, I take exception to your recoiling in such a manner. I have seen this scene truly abhorrent. What possessed you? I strictly forbade you from divulging the temporary waxwork secret to Mr. Naruhodo. Would you not have exercised a little bit more restraint your wind than me? But Bruno has something he needs to ask you. A question. And I seek answers. With more being stationary like that, and my great thing upon which all my success has been built would have turned to wax. Oh well. Save you then. You do like to talk nonsense. Lord Van Zeke. Let's take our time. How can I be of assistance? Tell me about Lord Baroque Van Zeke. I believe something is afoot within the wall of this very museum. A most fascinating case, if I'm not mistaken. Really? Another case again? Double murder? Eventually, I'm gonna have to defend the Baroque Van Zeke. Back to being temporary waxwork exhibit. Yeah, what is this place? Tell me. That wax figure is real? All the wax figures is real, Thunderbird. They're gonna stab you when you're sleeping. French Revolution. The gruesome scene was portrayed with such realism in the expression of the face of the condemned. The sculptor would make the model directly from the corpse, right there at the site of execution. Really? Is that true? Is that really true? Madame... I mean, our real life counterpart would be Madame Tussauds, right? I wanna see the origin of it. Is it really as described in the game? Madame Tussauds. The making of a star. Madame Tussauds is born Marie Groshold. It's track for Mary models for the famous author and philosopher François Voltaire. Mary becomes art tutor to King Louis XVI's sister and goes to live at the royal court in Versailles. On the eve of the French Revolution, Mary returned to Paris. Mary is imprisoned with her mother in the notorious La Force prison in Paris. On her release, she is forced to prove her allegiance to the revolution by making death mask of execute nobles and her former employee, the king and the queen. The French Revolution ends and Marie inherits Dr. Philip's courteous wax exhibition. Mary marries François Tussauds, takes her vision on tour to the British Isles, leaving behind her husband. With her son, Madame Tussauds established a base in London. Punch magazine coins the name Chamber of Horrors for Madame Tussauds' separate room where gruesome relics of the French Revolution are displayed. Wow, Madame Grandson moved the attraction to its current site on Marylebone Road. The attraction is devastated by fire. Restoration is complete with the addition of a cinema and restaurant. Madame Tussauds is struck by German World War II bombing, destroying 352 heads more. the first American Madame. Okay. So, yes, it dated even way back then. She was born in 1761 and lived all the way to 1850. So she would die at the age of 89. So it did in fact started by force. By using death mask. Really interesting. Except I'm pretty sure they were still alive though. I mean, that's the origin of Madame Tussauds. Our counterpart in the real world. Instead of Tuspel, is Tussauds, right? Was she the person who created Mario Antoinette's death mask? Probably. I mean, it says here in the 1793, Mario is imprisoned with her mother in the notorious La Force prison in Paris after the French Revolution. On her release, she is forced to prove her allegiance to the revolution by making death masks of executed nobles and her former employer, the king and the queen. So, yes. So the king and the queen at the French Revolution was indeed Marie Antoinette. So she did create the Marie Antoinette's death mask. This museum houses models of famous people from all over the globe. Nevertheless, and after that it got more popular. People like to see, you know, the mask of dead people. To Mario. Mario! You play too much Mario! House of Horror, yes. They did call it House of Horror too. Okay, so that's a true fact. Apparently. Naturally, most of the miscreant portrayed here were sent to the gallows, so they even stiffer now than the models of them. You play too much? You play too much! Not me though, you don't play me. The public live for poor taste they yearn to be shocked, so the hideous exhibition here are. They're all portrayal of real event that actually took place. Jane the Ripper or Jack the Ripper? So they are based on, you know, real events. Advise you not to think too deeply about what you see here. Shit. He's back to being wax. Hello Ingrid, what do you mean by temporary wax? SMM1. I mean, SMM1 is good. I mean, are we all ready for big run? This Friday? 2 days? After that, my hand to shake. Super hello, boo. Doesn't mean him and the wax murder in here, but why, Mr. Sean? Why? Current rotation in Salmon Run trash now. I mean, you pretty much got 993. Who cares about skipping one Salmon Run rotation? I struggle to play this month's run. I have Ravenous hours to consider. Ravenous? I'm so hungry. If push comes to shove, I shall have to ask you to do your bit, Mr. Naruhodo. What's he telling you to rope me up into? With that in mind, how about photograph? A special treat you may have to your pick of the murderer and scoundrel in here. The choice is yours. SMM1 will be getting a nice memorial service. Are we burying SMM1 now? Hungry? Eat a poutine? Wait, you're eating a poutine right now? At this time? Sure. You got screwed by a fake Japanese. It's Rang Randall? Sure. A poutine? I don't want a poutine. Maybe later, not now. So a film is to show me about everything I learned about Love and Zeke, about Professor Hairbrain, about the strange coincidence that they happened at the university together. Poutine is all the time? You don't even have a place with poutine, you know, that's open 24 hours, do you? So you cannot be all the time. Hey, Crispy is playing The Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom. I was sure that you know early. De manger te lève le cœur le matin. Et voilà! Mange pas! Is that a good thing? Wait, what? What is a good thing? Poutine? Yeah. I can pretend to be one of the Twitter comments keep jumping into water, suiciding and not doing anything. Hey! Ban him! Then there was something going on in here, this exhibit hall, and you believe it was related to what I wanted to ask you, yeah. Mr. Sholmes? He suddenly clammed up. Well, it seems we reached the unavoidable greetings. Unavoidable... Oh, no. We have a witch. I hope you are appreciating my museum. My apologies, I am Esmeralda to a spell. I wonder if they cannot use their name to sew, instead they use to spell. Because this is like a copyrighted thing? Already did a report though? Good. Je bois mon café, travaille dans SMM un peu avant de partir au boulot. SMM 1? I see that person twice already in freelance and last word at the current position. What about like you can still, you know, put him on a blacklist. That way you will never get to play with him in Summer Run. Do you not? I'm a madame in name only, it adds a certain je ne sais quoi. True, of course, alright. Firstly, I must apologize for my waxwork. Rather one waxwork in particular, that must be Mr. Shome. I was led to believe he was a great detective, but he seems unable to settle. Next time you move from your designated exhibit, there will be toil and trouble. Oh shit! Molten wax? Theme song of Star Trek The Next Generation. Block someone on the Switch, it doesn't work at all? Really? What do you mean it doesn't work? If you block it, you cannot play. I mean, we've seen that. You cannot join, let's say you block someone else and you join my game. That same person cannot join my game and start, right? First time I see him, he has 333 gold banner, and the second time I see him, he will be using his outer trophy. Something about being a foot right here in the museum. I know, but I'm so curious. I want to know what's happening here. Have we got enough on our plate already? To get friend request though? You sure? Mage's problem? Why do I have to deal with mage problem? I mean, if he's a random, you might have seen him 2 times, so that's already like quite a rare feat, I feel like. And that is when she acquired a savoir-faire that leads to the astonishing life likeness. Imagine being with a woman like to spell and she threatened you with lava. It's molten wax. I thought that when you block someone, he cannot join the same game as you. No, you will not be matched with them. You will not be matched with them if you block them. According to Nintendo UK. So block him. So in point 3 of that link, it says that once you have identified the appropriate user, select block and then select block again to confirm. Block users cannot send you friend requests and you will not be matched with them in games. That's what it says. In our music following the execution, that is the secret of extraordinary likeness. Terrifying. All walks of life have similar challenges, I'm sure. To carry out one's trade for excellence, and one must go to extraordinary length. Block him. It says you will not match with them in game. I mean, no. Does it only carry for freelance? I don't know. But it does say that it's not matched with them in games. It doesn't specify any. It does say so on the English version too, 1.3. Don't trust Nintendo? Then who you gonna trust? It's their system. They said that you will not be matched, so it will at least, you know, lower the chance of you matching with them. Report a match. I trust Nintendo on this issue? I mean, not 100%, but at least, you know, they try. What a business proposal. What sort of proposal? My dear madam, what this sports exhibit needs is the addition of a world-famous great detective. I'm well aware that Mr. Shom is widely known in London as a talented detective. It's very specific about it, the creme de la creme. So I was keen to come some arrangement with him, of course. But sadly, we were unable to agree terms. Let me guess, someone wanted to charge an exorbitant price for his service. For a mere £500? £500 I will dive into your cauldron of wax this very moment, oh shit. Then there are an automated system? I mean, yes. I mean, look at the amount of stuff they need to treat. Of course, he's gonna have a bot somewhere, as expected. Reminder, pounds is a currency too. I know that! Regrettably, the museum has a shortage of funds at the moment due to unforeseen circumstances. Oh shit. He doesn't need to do what he's doing though, does he? I would think not, but he was very insistent. I have a 50 shilling problem and that must be resolved by the month. 50 shilling? Or words to that effect. Oh shit. It's the pawnbroker, that's what it is. He must have something to redeem. I wondered, could I ask you something? Yes, sir. I'm just curious, is there anything going in the mission or some kind of incident, perhaps? Whoever suggested such a thing to you? Oh, well, it was... You ran away. Your temporary waxwork over there who mentioned it to me a little. A wax model is work of art, not some tawdry object portrayed. There you are. Leaving the exhibit again when you should be working? Do you wish to be melted down? My dear Madame Tuspel, save your reprimands, they are more pressing concern. The wax can wait. It's our idea about your current problem we must throw into the melting pot instead. Personally, I would advise you not to involve the police. Oh, what? She turned as white as a sheet. Because you have at your disposal a great detective whose your service you may deploy for a mere 50 shillings. Very well. Let us see if the great detective is able to live up to his name, shall we? Okay, before I engage in my analytical process, I'm gonna ask you to clarify something. What's that hand over there? Is that dead body? That is the Tuspel special exhibit. This is an extra charge to see it. Ah, the special exhibit. In the House of Horror, I must depict a special killer then, I presume. Would you be so kind to draw back the curtain, I wonder? Absolutely no! There's nothing amiss behind there, nothing amiss, madame. There's an arm coming out. What about the arm protruding ominously from under the curtain? Aye! Now allow me to see what lies beyond before the situation worsens. Yes, very well. I will draw back the curtains, but only a soupçon. Grave? Number 139? I peeked behind the curtain earlier. The Tuspel special exhibit is a very bleak graveyard scene indeed. And yet, somewhat surprisingly, the waxwork killer one would expect is nowhere to be seen. What does strike one, however? Is that body over there? Is that a dead body? Is that wax figure? I'm afraid not, my dear fellow. He's a perfectly ordinary London gentleman, not even a waxwork, in fact. A skillful made as these waxwork, they are always distinguishable from real humans. So allow me to present my two conclusions. The first is that a sizable business transaction has been taking place in this special exhibit. Why would you say that? And the second is that the aforementioned transaction is linked to a serious crime! Is he dead? I don't understand. You killed him! As you've agreed to my feed, you shall now have the pleasure of seeing this famously great detective at temporary exhibit at work. Alright. The answer revealed by the bundled banknote protruding so helpfully from your bag. In my estimation, some 200 pounds! That is all my money! So what does this last sum of money reveal? Ah, not as much as the involuntary glance you casted, it would seem, Madame Tuspel. Yes, the answer lies where your eyes now fall. What? The significance of the 200 pounds is revealed by that public notice. What? Your business has hit hard time, it would seem, in short. You sold the infamous killer the centerpiece of your special exhibit for the sum of 200 pounds. No! Now let us explore the next curiosity with which we were presented, okay? Yeah, who is that portly gentleman? Suffer a severe cause, the cause of which is clearly known to you. What did you do? Did you poison the gentleman there? Lady? Dia, what did you do? A lot of money. For 200 pounds. It would appear that you twisted the gentleman around your little finger most effectively. What are you suggesting? You rashly agreed to purchase the waxwork for the sum of 200 pounds. Only when he came to hand the money over did it occur to her that what an extortionate amount he was paying. But the money was no longer the case. The result, the scene we see before us, he collapsed in shock. Ridiculous. The killer in this special exhibit fetch of killer prize, and we can only pray that the gentleman's dream are not plagued with regrets. Alright, topic number 2. The question that arises then is what has become of the waxwork that changed his hand. Let us consider the problem for a moment. You cannot possibly. What immediately struck me as a conundrum is this young man standing over there. Is this? Was this fellow to find the answer we need only observe? His neckerchief. Such is worn by policemen as a secret sign to fellow members of the force that a crime is being perpetrated. This young man is an undercover policeman currently investigating this museum. I know him well, in fact, is Surgeon John Clay. John Clay? How is this guy still even alive? The man's quite celebrity. He received triple accolades at last year's policing awards. The old man sat before him with a particular unsightly visage. I've been watching closely. He has a move a muscle, most in fact has even worn waxwork. Oh, that's a waxwork? But your reaction won't confirm my suspicion, madame. I noticed this once. Observe. The telltale sign that instantly prove whether or not his waxwork is obviously price tag. 3 pounds? And more ring than his Though perhaps the going rate for aging waxwork riddles with crack. That's a waxwork? And yet you sold it to the portly gentleman for an exorbitant 200 pounds. Sort of plucky behavior is sure to attract the attention of Scotland Yard, isn't that so, madame? Yes, the waxwork you sold has already been seized by the policemen and remain in their custody as we speak. The omens must be reunited with his grave in the special exhibit and not a moment too soon. Ah. I mean, Sherlock Sholmes is very clever, he just pretends to be dumb, okay? Thus conclude Sherlock Sholmes a great deduction of this horrifying puzzles. You have something better than Splatoon. And that is you? Chocolate pancake McGriddles. You've obviously upset this young lady in the process. Her culture looks awfully hot. If I could just bring up one point, Mr. Sholmes. According to you, the special exhibit features this old policeman? That would mean he's the particularly ruthless murderer, wouldn't he? The killer policeman, Automobile. It was a mysterious series of murders that rattled the capital only last year. She's about to cook his ass? I would too. We tried one of them, good golly, they're so good. I mean, McDonald's does have good things. I mean, people do shit on it quite a bit. But I mean, if you're gonna tell me that something is happening at my place and I am somewhat involved without, you know, giving me real explanation as to why you think that, I will cook you too. Oh. Unforgettable, in fact, yes, I remember that audio's content is only 2. Wow. McGriddle? Is there anything else you wish before I melt you down? Oh shit. It's a slice of wow? Why are you getting so noisy? Oh, a big stretch. Just woke up, Tiger? You didn't want any itch? You just woke up? Woke up? What is that? What is that? What is this? What is that, Tiger? You know what that is? You gotta buy McDonald's rolls. I like the chicken nugget. What is this? I bought a new carrier for you. You're gonna have to try it. Would you like to go in the back? I'm not gonna try it. It's still too cold. Well, it's not too cold. We're not gonna go for a walk. Eventually, though, Tiger. Pas du vrai poulet? En calice. J'aime ça pareil. What? Air fryer, you have yet to get McDonald's, but this is McGriddle. Make some minor corrections to the Great Detective's deduction. Let's go! What is this, Tiger? Okay. Hey! £200. Okay, that is all my money. Yeah, why do you need so much money, Madame Tussaud? Or Tusbel? Ow, those claws of yours, Tiger. Ow! It's right on my wee wee. Ow! That hurts. Poor horizontal no things. I want that above the wax. This sounds like that makes a bad person. I wonder if the 200 pounds could have some other significance. Let's follow that furtive glance again and see if there's anything that could be explained. Let's see. Here? Heading out for shower? Alright, you have a good shower? It was a silly place to put him on a museum visit could easily trip. What is this? Note on the wall. Dear Madame to spell, we've taken the prisoner from this room. The prisoner? The price for his safe return is 200 pounds? She beat it mad fast and loved it. It's like the sort of thing. Ransom note! That's what we are doing.
Take that!
Alright, the significance of 200 pounds is revealed by the ransom note! Oh, the inventiveness. Abducting a wax. Hey. Is it really a wax work? Or is there not a dead body, you know, being put into wax? Ransom money! Alright, see you later, Super. Who is the portly gentleman stretched out so peacefully on the floor? I don't know. Who's that person? Get up! Get up! Ow! Get up, tiger! There you go. Out. Where does that leave us in terms? We'll just ask him when he comes around. I think the point of the exercise is to understand the beauty of the deduction process. We mustn't let him down. Well, there's a little doubt that he suffered a shock. That much seems clear, but in that case, what's Madame Tussauds trying to hide? Let's have a close look. Is she trying to hide? All around. Long braided hair. Like a whip? The sort of whip that could have floored the gentleman with a single crack? Hands? What's on your hand? Oh, wait a minute, the left hand as well. Look. Why is there a left hand? Very steep. That's a wax figure. It's made of wax. Why are you hiding that shit?
Take that!
What dealt the man such a shocking blow was of course a waxwork hand. Indeed, with a solid waxwork limb, one could deliver a very substantial blow. However, how could you? The hand protruding from the bottom of your cape. It ought to be a right hand, but closer you reveal that it's back as a left hand. Somewhat masculine as well. In other words, it does not belong to you, madame. It is the hand of waxwork model. What, you just whack someone with a wax hand? Some of the visitors can be troublesome. They meddle with exhibit and cause damages. So you mean that arm? Why did you not pull the molten wax on people then? Kill them all. This gentleman saw fit to try to remove it as a souvenir. Like taking a whole branch of cherry tree when you go to plus. Who would go to a wax figure in a museum and take an entire hand out of a wax statue? I mean, I guess there are people who like to be doing that, but why? Why? Only an arm? confronted the man and tried to take their arm back. And the result, the scene we see before as he was knocked unconscious. A point we may need to revisit later, but for the time being of our conclusion. The killer in this special exhibit has been kidnapped. Alright. The question that arises then is what has become of the waxwork that changed hands. That isn't gonna do a problem for a moment, you cannot possibly. Alright, conundrum is the young man standing over there. Who is this fellow? To find the answer we need only to observe his neckerchief. The yellow neckerchief is a sign of all the policemen that some crime is underway, a way of communicating with his colleague without revealing his identity. Yes, it's a secret that's closely guarded by Scotland Yard. And Mr. Shum didn't hesitate to give away. Well, uncovering secret is in any true detective nature, of course. Judging from Madame Tuspel's reaction to Mr. Shum's deduction, I think perhaps we may not have identified the man quite correctly.
Take that!
Oh, that's a wax. Find the answer we need only observe. The shoulder stab! In other words, the man standing here, the young Sergeant John Clay, is in fact defying all odds and waxwork models! He seems to remember it was you who concluded he was a real person in the first place. He has become quite a celebrity in London, being the winner of no less than 3 policing awards last year. I simply had to make a model of the man. Was pulled off by the man on the floor in the special exhibit, wasn't it? Next, we turn our attention to the old man sat before him with a particularly unsightly visage. I've been watching closely as a move a muscle, almost in fact as if he were waxwork. The reaction only consumes by suspicion and notices at once of course observed. Telltale sign that instant prove whether or not his old man is a waxwork is a price tag. A killer policeman called Otter Mole, was it? Was he well known? It was all over paper last year, but I cannot know what he looks like. Very low price though. Someone stole from a museum and tried to ransom for $200. Is this crusty old killer policeman Otter Mole? Is that a real person? Killer police Otter Mole? Whatever. Doesn't seem like it's based on the Oh, he's a real person. That's what I said, he's a real person.
Take that!
He's twitching. Moving his leg. And there you have it. Well, Madame Tuspel, it was me who contacted the police and demanded that someone come in the first place. He is clearly fatigued. He is sound asleep. Is he? But then, what's this tag about showing a price for 3 pence? At a local market? I presume you've observed the scarf tied around his arm. Does that not strike you? The secret sign used by detectives to show that some criminal activity is currently underway. There has been just such a criminal activity happening right here, as you deduced from the beginning, detective. So it seems that we finally arrive at the truth. Someone kidnapped your statue. Has been kidnapped. Number 139 though. But the mortal whereabouts remains a mystery. Let's conclude Herlock Sholmes' great deduction of this horrifying puzzles. Right. Ta-da! Deduction complete. Elementary. All sorts of people visit my museum here, men and women, young and old. Sometimes they drop in just for a short time on their way back from the pub. I welcome them all, but if anyone tries to damage my exhibit, I'll kill them. I do not take it lightly. Your great deduction was even more enchanting than I had been led to believe. Merci, it was a pleasure, my dear madame. I'm gratified that you enjoyed the spectacle. And as for your rough customer, I've no doubt he regained consciousness shortly and returned home. What concerns me more is the waxwork from the special display. If it was indeed genuinely abducted. Yes, tragically it was. Someone stole your waxwork. I will ask you to recount to us the events surrounding the stolen waxwork in as much detail as possible. But after I have told you what I know, I must insist that you return to your work. The talent of a great detective could be put to better use, I feel, but as you wish. Alright, tell me what you need to tell me. The stolen waxwork. It was some days ago now. When I came in here one morning, I immediately noticed that waxwork was missing from a special exhibit here. It is your most prominent display, so that's why the curtain was closed. And I found the ransom note in its place. The culprit must have broken it in during the night and taken it then. Ah. It was a model of some horrible criminal. Which one? Of a particular horrible criminal, in fact. Who? The killer who left a more profound scar on society than any other. The professor. Who? The professor? It seems the circle is complete. No, it's not. Tell me who's the professor. Indeed, Iris. 10 years ago, a series of murders that rocked the capital. At exactly the time the Baroque Van Zee graduated from university. Wait, the professor actually killed, Baroque Van Zee's family? As you've surmised, it was a professor case. Who was this professor? Who's this professor? Who's the professor? It was a series of gruesome murders that had all the London gripped in terror. Is the professor, Baroque Van Zee's dad or something? After 5 victims were killed, the man was arrested and put to death. Okay. And now he's immortalized here in wax for all Londoners to admire and enjoy, though of course he happens to be absent and present on account of the abduction. But I don't understand, how is it all related to Lord Van Zee's? You must first understand, my dear fellow, why is it that the professor earned such infamy? It was due to the victim he chose, some Whitehall finest. So the professor actually killed? Those murdered by the professor were some of the highest members of the British aristocracy. Member of the nobility, even royalty, sent shockwave through the country's administration. Members of Professor Harebrain said, Lord Van Zeke is from a family with noble blood. He was the 5th victim that led to the professor's arrest. The last of the killer spree was a young noble by the name of Clint Van Zeke. Clint. Who's Clint? Is that a girl or is that a boy's name? Clint. Be a boy. In the wake of his older brother's murder. Oh, okay, brothers. The young Baroque pursued a career as a prosecutor and eventually became the Reaper we know today. I'm afraid that's all I can say on the matter for the time being at least. After all, I have work to do. As a waxwork exhibit. Okay, cool. So his brother got murdered like 10 years ago. Are we gonna, you know, no, probably. But we're probably gonna be going back to that case. That is somewhat linked to the one of the, you know, aforementioned previous case to this present case. Maybe not this one, but the next case afterwards. It really has. I'm delighted to see you, Barak. It's been 10 years, and here we are meeting in a prison of all places. I can't forgive myself for what happened to Mr. Assman. I just can't. I still can't believe it could happen. The court will decide. I have a young Eastern man acting for my defense. He's unreliable enough though. It was an accident, a terrible accident. He assured me he can prove it. It's going against me, I must warn you. I've heard already you're going to be prosecuting, aren't you? Since I'm returned to England, I've heard lots of stories. Barak, are you really? Never mind, are you really what? I know that you have my best interests at heart. My friend is on trial, I wouldn't entrust it to anybody else. Until tomorrow then, I'll see you in court. So he's gonna be helping me, huh? I don't know. That's what it is implying here, right? But weird. That's so weird. How can you prosecute and protect at the same time? No, I will play. I will play. I mean, this game I can save anywhere, so I don't have to stop it right after a part. Doesn't matter. The atmospheric pressure in here is off the chart. Atmospheric. I mean, is that how we think of court? Like, you know, having all this pressure? I guess it could be very, you know, nerve-wracking in some form or some way. I mean, I've never been on the defendancy, so I'm not gonna say, you know, what kind of pressure you feel if you're defending yourself on something that you did or you did not do. I mean, it must be nerve-wracking. I mean, even as a witness sometimes, you know. Oh, I guess it could be nerve-wracking. Let's go, I'm sure nothing to worry about, really. Leaving me at home with Hurley. It took me at least an hour to wake him. Sherlock Holmes! I've heard all about your exploit even while living in Germany, really. Sherlock Holmes is such a popular... The Ranks magazine on sale in Germany too. This month's installment was sublime. Your deduction in the Adventure of Silver Blaze was wonderful. It concerned a snake you seem to recall. No, that was the Speckled Band. I'm sorry to disappoint you, my dear fellow, but I'm afraid I can't stay. I have urgent business at Madame Tuspel. You mean your waxwork job? The waxwork abduction, of course. Madame has engaged my services. Oh, okay. So we have two cases going on. The murder, the explosion, and the disappearance of waxwork. How are they gonna all come together? I don't know. That seems like two unrelated things. I mean, if I know about this game, they somewhat can figure out a way to put, you know, seemingly unrelated things all together. And they do an excellent job at leading you, while not giving you all the, you know, spell it out for you, but it certainly seems like, you know, they did an excellent job at leading you into discovering it on your own, linking things together. That's, you know, very remarkable, I would say. Remarkable way to do that. As compelling as this super hypothesis in the kinesis hypothesis, the practical implementation as what attempted by the professor at the Great Exhibit is quite impossible. But the professor said the demonstration was a success. Yes, it would appear that he fervently believes it was. I've read Professor Bunny Brain's paper about it too, Runo, and I have to say, I'm sure it can't be done. It could barely be done theoretically, let alone practically. So he's completely barking up the wrong tree, but how could an experiment that had no possibility of succeeding in fact succeeded? That's contradictory. It's that contradiction that will be at the heart of the trial, no doubt. I must hurry along. I wish you the best of luck, my dear fellow. Yeah, how did he get, you know, projected all the way? It was like a catapult? Is that what it is? A chin up, you can do it. Oh no, I'm afraid I can help. I have something I need to do. I see. Iris! It's going to be a big surprise for me. Is that the return of Susato? Let's go. An experiment that the laws of science can possibly succeed. A scientist was convinced that it did. That's a riddle you have to unlock here. Ryunosuke! That's the key to this case. Alright, we'll do that. Alright, we have the jurors. They already declared this court in section and was still sitting. Albert Harebrain. The prosecution is ready with the case. The defense is ready. I'm 6 months out of practice, and what's more, Susato is not here. I'm without Susato-san today. Ugh. Is it just my imagination, or does the air in here feel even more oppressive than usual? I must say I recollect the victims of this case all too well, Mr. Odi asked me. Mr. Asman was well known as a financier, though that was merely a front for his diverse criminal activities. It was only a month ago that the man appeared in court prosecuted by you, Lord Van Zik, but the jury unanimously found him not guilty, because every member of the jury has been bribed by the sound of it. These powerful London criminals are prepared to go to extreme lengths to keep their freedom. But 2 days ago, on the 21st of October, Mr. Asman met his end. The work of the Reaper, was it? No. If that is how your lordship would describe divine retribution? But the fact remains that Mr. Asman's death has nothing to do with me. It was a direct result of the action of the accused, Professor Hairbrain. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you have been selected at random. It's never random. Are the 6 of you ready to fulfill your societal duty? Who are you? I'm most gratified to have been selected to carry out this important civic duty, my lord. I mean, she's definitely rich. To have a man's fate in the palm of one's hand. Oh gosh, oh golly, it sends shiver down my spine. I mean, these are all, you know, aristocrats. Science experiment, magic conjuring, trick, courtroom trial are nothing more than performances. Any spurious scholar that defies the reputation of science is served to hang. Lady? This, well, what is that? Is that policeman? Wasn't like this in all my day, wasn't like this at all. Who are you? Policeman? Police? Police cannot be on the juror. Cannot be part of the jury, how dare you? No one was killed? With such a big explosion, no one was killed. That's like... so exceptional. A tragic turn of events, and as such, the eye of all London, no, of the whole world would be on this trial. It's our duty to reach a swift and just conclusion, I feel. Come on, Lord Van Zik. At the heart of this incident is a technology never before demonstrated anywhere in the world. The government is keen to capitalize on the great exhibition to improve Britain's technological advantage. Technology been demonstrated by the accused was described as super high voltage instantaneous kinesis. It's designed to disassemble human subject using extremely high voltage electricity and beam them instantly to another location where they are subsequently reassembled. Wow. No, it's not. Well, at least not with the technology they had back in the end of the 1800s. The whole case is absurd. The hypothesis will not stand up to scrutiny. I believe you are a fellow of the Royal Society. Are you not an expert in your field? I am. My word on the matter can be considered final. Instantaneous kinesis is a poppycock. It's impossible. What is the prosecution's views on the matter? The prosecution would assert that the accused's instantaneous kinesis demonstration was a success. What? The professor hypothesis is currently under investigation by the British government. If it is deemed to have merit, a substantial research grant would be made available. The accused made use of invention built on his new hypothesis to take Mr. Asman's life, in order to be the sole benefactor of the grant. This disastrous demonstration was no accident. It was carefully designed from the outset to end the life of the victim. Is that why you said it was a success? Because it did in fact kill that person. but you will now bring forth witnesses to substantiate your claim. Gina? Are we gonna bring Gina first? No, it's Gregson. Tobias Gregson was on duty at the demonstration on the day in question in charge of the following investigation. Hairbrain. Albert Hairbrain, scientist. After graduating from university here in Britain, I went to work in Germany and made an amazing discovery, which is what brought me back. I had to demonstrate my incredible hypothesis of the Great Exhibition. What you demonstrated was incredible, alright, an incredible explosion, but the science was a success and instantaneous kinesis worked. Everyone saw it, they must have done. There was the terrible accident, but the demonstration of my hypothesis was a success? No. As shown in this photograph taken by the forensic investigation. Oh, we're not talking about forensic. Oh, the mustache man. That was taken inside the Crystal Tower, taking the central piece of the exhibition known as. It seems the vision rammed straight into it. That explosion was so strong that it, sent him flying all the way? The victim of the incident was Mr. Odie Asman. There have been a number of allegations made against the man, but putting them aside for the time being, it was the man who financed this research for the experiment and demonstration itself. The defendant is accused of taking the life of the man who funded his work. Would that be correct? But couldn't it be that the explosion was caused by some malfunctioning in the apparatus used for the demonstration? My splendid machine! My poor splendid machine! You saw it yesterday, didn't you? I can even examine the wreckage thanks to the Special Dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act. The wreckage? But that being the case, how can the fact be established? How can it possibly determine whether there was an accident or deliberate or malicious act? Extremely simple. And how's that? Isn't that right? Witness? Me? Your neighbor? Yes sir, he was murdered, plain and simple. Anyone could state that with complete certainty. What? How? Complete certainty, huh? Someone is sure of himself? Yeah, explain yourself, Inspector. The corpse that went crashing to the Crystal Tower has a broken neck. I made a minor mistake in the angle of the beam protector, that's all, that was my mistake. But the post-mortem examination revealed another injury, a fatal wound. There was a lesion in his chest where he clearly been stabbed by something sharp right in the heart. So the victim was killed before he went anywhere, and this fella is the only one who could have done it. What? So he did not die from crashing. He died from getting stabbed into the heart. Oh. The coroner says death would have been all but instant from a wound like that. But the victim was killed twice by the accused. So how did he manage to get himself inside? I have here the experiment plans document that was submitted to the security team. Okay. The victim stood himself inside something called a bird cage, ready to be beamed instantly to the second level of the Crystal Tower, about 25 yards away. The experiment did not go according to plan, however. There was a large explosion. The blast caused the beam transmitter to point higher than intended. Accordingly, the kinesis resulted in the birdcage materials in mid-air, from where it subsequently fell crashing through the glass of the crystal tower large round window. One assumed the victim's neck was broken up on impact with the tower then. I swear it was just an accident, terrible accident. Unfortunately, that excuse can save you. Not consider a sharp murder weapon that pierced the victim's heart. This is the autopsy report submitted by the coroner. The prosecution would like it entered into the court record. Okay. I was there in person, you know, I saw the whole ludicrous performance. The only other person on the stage was Mr. Asmencher, was that disgraceful excuse for a scientist. Then really, by all accounts, it must have been him. Hard to think otherwise, really. So a stab in a broken neck. Then if someone stabbed him already, why would he...
Hold it!
That's because he fell from a considerable height? Exactly, which highlights something else about this whole rum business. Was a success. How did it... Oh, he did get stabbed. Male, 47, British, 21st October, around 2:20, hemorrhage of a wound to the chest that pierced their heart, inflicted by a sharp implement. A broken vertebra, most likely resulting from impact after a sudden fall from a considerable height. That means someone threw it from the hot balloon, right? Suddenly appear out of nowhere in mid-air. Reminded us, Professor, what was the cause of the fatal disaster? I made a minor miscalculation in the angle of the beam projected. That was my mistake. You calculated it yourself personally? So only you got it wrong, did you? I took into account the subject's height and weight, the wind direction, and ambient temperature. I consider every possible variable, so I just don't understand how this could have happened. You have to include the weight of the clothes Mr. Allen was wearing at the time, I suppose. Crackling comments. The answer should have been 3. The 3 must be for safety third.
Hold it!
Yeah, I need that little A thing for a screwdriver. Does it mean I'm saying the victim had 2 lives to lose, does it? Obviously, at first we thought the broke had died due to spine snapping in half as well. Okay. 30 feet into a glass tower, it would be reasonable to assume that that's the cause of the death. That's what we all thought, but it was a red herring, wasn't it? There was a lesion in his chest where he clearly been stabbed by something sharp.
Hold it!
Yeah, I need that thing that was stabbed. What was that? Prosecution received this report from the forensic investigation only this morning. That was the first time we knew of it as well. I can only apologize for the impossibility of informing the defense. Sarcastic and insincere, thanks. So, what was the nature of this sharp object? Among the accused, two that we would in use of the one is of particular interest, which is this screwdriver, yes. Ah, what is that? There, he is. My trusty little companion, Andrew. Andrew? He's one of my dear friends, like all my tools. I've named them all, you know, we're one big happy family. Andrew is my flathead screwdriver, of course. His brother Michael is a crosshead. Has a red stain on his shank. Oi. It's blood! Beyond all reasonable doubt. No! And that's not all. A long sharp shape of this Andrew fellow is completely consistent with the victim's wound. I mean, Andrew stabbed someone. So what of Professor Hare brings to is the murder weapon, huh? Great.
Hold it!
What ground do you have for saying that, yes? Do you really need to ask? There were only two people on that public experiment. What if the person that is on the stage was not the same person that was murdered? It's two different persons. Well, it should be two different persons. I don't see how one can teleport to the other place. Professor Harebrain, we know for certain that before the experiment, I mean, there was an explosion, so it could definitely cover for the person on the stage and, you know, just move out of the contraption and then just go in hiding. And then once, you know, the explosion occurs, someone from the hot air balloon just tossed the other dude down into the crystal tower. In other words, only someone else on stage with the victim could possibly have done it.
Excuse me!
What? It seems as though you might have something to say about Inspector Gregson's last remark. That's right, of course. He just said that nobody else could have done it, didn't he? There's no way that I could possibly have stabbed Mr. Asman as you say. Explain yourself. May not be aware, I suppose, but human are warm-blooded mammals with blood running continuously through their veins. And surely you see, if I plunged something the size of Andrew into the man's chest, the whole stage would have been bloodbath and a blood-swimming pool. Thousands of London were watching me at the time, and yet not one of them claimed to have seen a swimming pool of blood. Well, no, I suppose not. I didn't see anything like that. Yeah, but it was covered by the explosion, is that what we're gonna say? Here's to you, Albert. You're too kind, Barack. I'm really not a patch on you. Boing. You're not. You've neglected to mention one crucial possibility. A particular situation in which very little bleeding will result from a stab. Inspector, enlighten the court, please. Alright, amend it. Amend it. The left in his body while he was beamed through the air?
Hold it!
With any wound, it's only when you pull the weapon out that profuse bleeding occurs. While it's still lodged in his body, it acts as a stopper of sorts, for want of a better word. Where did you find a weapon? I was found poking through the grill and the base of what remains of the kinesis. So that's a blood? Huh. If you ask me, this bloke masked what he was doing from the view with his body before stabbing Asman in the chest. Then he beamed the victim off the stage with his fancy device to screw still where he planted it. The fact remains, the lack of blood at the scene can easily be explained as the prosecution had demonstrated. So that's all the testimony I have to work with. I have no idea the victim has been stabbed. That changes everything. Keep that to himself until now on purpose to gain advantage? Oh well. I suppose I cannot do is press this window as much as new information as possible. I did. I mean, I guess the only thing I can show is the screwdriver. Or the picture. Actually, I can show the picture.
Objection!
Nope. No, it's not the picture. So it must be the screwdriver. Screwdriver?
Objection!
Even though that's where the fellow was stabbed. The only explanation for that is the screwdriver was still in his body, stopping any heavy bleeding. It's common medical knowledge, my learned friend, even on your side of the world. Yes, but about this screwdriver, where did you find it? The thing is, we actually saw it at the scene ourselves, on the experimental stage. It was on the floor by the wreckage of the machine poking through a metal grill. I went to pick it up, but the detective here stopped me. Isn't that right, Inspector Gregson? Ah, well, now you come to mention it, yes. Are we to understand that you permitted the defense counsel to investigate? That you contravened the special dispensation for the Scientific Equipment Act? He wasn't to touch a thing. That's true. The screwdriver is in plain sight on the stage. But it shouldn't have been, should it? I mean, if it got beamed with it still in the victim's body, then it shouldn't have still been on the stage. No, it shouldn't. That's right, it should have been beamed across the Crystal Tower along with Mr. Asman, and be found still lodged in his victim's chest. As there should, right? You don't know how to. It looks like so everything that the victim had on his person moved with him when he was beamed. If the screwdriver was still in his chest when the instantaneous kinesis occurred, Obviously, that should have been beamed to the destination as well. Even though people are saying that this incident is a scientific impossibility, we're still basing argument on the assumption that it did actually take place. Time to tighten the screw here. My lord, if the prosecution is unable to explain this inconsistency in its argument, we can only conclude that the testimony given in support cannot be relied on.
Hold it!
Who was screaming, hold it? It bears out, the equation holds. Don't worry. What? Hold it! Without delving into there's no inconsistency. What? Andrew remaining on the stage is consistent. What are you talking about? You know I'm defending you. What are you talking about? He's not helping, isn't he? It would seem your illusion have been shattered. What? Why won't you just shut up about it? You know you'll understand defending yourself, right? Alright, give me your explanation then, scientific. You stupid scientist. Scientist. In the name of Apollo, I will. Why? To be clear, I'm still at the stage of gathering data in my research. My hypothesis states that the kinesis cannot transform metal, though. Hence, the metal weapon should have stayed. In other words, the point just raised by Mr. Naruhodo isn't an inconsistency at all. Metal cannot be transported? Was the patron of my research, without him my work wouldn't have been possible. Now I have a duty to protect the incredible machine that we built together. Metal wouldn't be transported, huh? Is there any metal on? I mean, is that metal? Is glasses and stuff? I mean, how about the little buckle here? Are those metals? In other words, since the screwdriver made of metal, even if it remained lodged in its victim's chest, its subsequent discovery on the stage despite the victim being found elsewhere is not an inconsistency. Therefore, Professor Albert Haybrand could still have been the killer. We had to make the cage used to contain the subject from wood for that very reason. Yes? Whose side are you on here? I don't take sides, Mr. Naruto. No, no, no. My only interest lies in upholding my hypothesis. I'm a scientist, after all. Fine. Is he working for us or against us? Clearly. Let's see how you cross-examine this testimony, my Nipponese friend. Fire away, Mr. Naruhodo. I'm supposed to be defending you! Why are you telling me fire away?
Hold it!
Oh my gosh. It's merely a hypothesis, but a good one based upon thousands of calculations. But it is well already known that metal can be decomposed. What? This is some obscure pseudoscience. Oh no, why are you opening a meaning to those things? You already accused, why are you helping them? I know, right? The birdcage? That's what I call the sea obtusa cage. Jail cell that which... Oh, so we're seeing the cage. I'll thank you not to refer it as an instrument of incarceration. Any weapon lodged in the victims when it was beamed away by instantaneous kinetic would have been left behind on the stage if it was made of metal. The defendant alone that had the opportunity to inflict the fatal injury in the victim, is it not? Ah. Someone beat me out of this nightmare. That's valid logic. We in the state have a few laws that you are allowed to not testify if you self-incriminate. It goes against logic to harm yourself. Yes, indeed it does. You are allowed to remain silent. Even in Canada, it's the same thing. You are allowed to remain silent if you think that it would say something that incriminate yourself, right? But then at the same time, we know we have someone in the jury that is the police officer. That is not working. I knew it. At the end of the day, I'm the only one responsible for Mr. Asman losing his life. The advancement of science is all the kids that know that. You're quite right. Tell the court, did you have a close relationship with Mr. Asman? Not really. I mean, I only met him 2 or 3 times, and we only ever discussed my hypothesis on the project and the research grant, of course.
Hold it!
Yeah, how did you come to know Mr. Asman? A year ago now, a small provincial science journal published a little paper about my work. That is very little. I'm gonna have an extraordinary hypothesis, great promise, but at the time I had no money. I had to eat tiny little meals in tiny little cafe and drink watered down water. Watered down water? But Mr. Asman read the paper and came to visit me in my tiny little laboratory and offer you money to help fund your work. Why is he... Now that's even more shady. Why is Asman going all the way to Germany just to fund his work? Machine that you brought to the great exhibition to demonstrate.
Hold it!
When you say that you build a machine together, does that mean you were involved in its construction? Of course it does, he's a scientist. Not exactly, what do you mean? Not good with the practical side of the machine myself, so the physical construction was done by an engineer. Who is that engineer? Following the explosions, repair would no doubt be impossible. If someone were to gather all the broken parts, they could discover the secret of your hypothesis, but Mr. and I toiled over that machine for so long, we put our heart and soul into it. Must be kept safe, that's only fair, because what happened was an accident. I don't want him doing any more damage, he's already basically proven that he could have been the culprit. But it seems as though all he really cares about is defending his hypothesis. I have to break his hypothesis.
Hold it!
No scientist can find the truth without first finding self-belief. Those were the words of a certain scientist I hold in very highest esteem, but you realize that disproving my argument puts you in a very precarious situation. Of course she does. No scientist should strive to protect himself more than he strives to protect the truth. More words of the same great scientist. Words are causing me a lot of trouble. Who is this scientist? I'm afraid I couldn't tell you, Mr. Naruhodo. But as soon as I remember the magnificent genius in them, you will be first to know. It might be worth keeping the name of your idols to mind. This scatterbrain even forgets my name at times. Oh, yeah. So I need to show a picture of some metal getting beamed, right? I would assume the picture. The question is...
Objection!
Nothing made of metal can be beamed by instantaneous kinesis using machine you made, is that right? In that case, I ask you to have a look at this photograph. How was the glass getting transported? Pair of spectacle with a metal rim. See? Proposed murder weapon, the screwdriver was found on the stage. However, if your hypothesis is correctly predicted that outcome, it should also have predicted that the metal rim spectacle will be found in the same place. Your hypothesis is wrong, get out! But your hypothesis is clearly flawed. The alleged instantaneous killing never actually took place, then it's entirely possible that we kill somewhere other than on the stage. And in that case, someone other than the defendant could have been the culprit. Your hypothesis is not sound. I proved it that day. The experiment. No, it was not. My capacity as a fellow of the Royal Society. Usually the juror is kinda dumb. There's one thing I simply cannot abide. And that's a fraud who pretends to be a fellow man of science. My science is suspect? It's just been disproved, hasn't it? In front of all of us. In other words, the whole demonstration was a complete nonsense from start to finish. Believe me, my fellow juror, when I tell you that this man is a heel, a bounder, and a fraud. I said the wreckage of that machine should be stripped down and thoroughly examined. No, never! It's protected by the Special Dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act. What the devil is that blasted act all about, huh? Who made up such a daft rule? What's the best way for me to help the professor? Should I raise an objection? My feeling is that the machine required thorough examination. But what about this special dispensation that's been mentioned? Oh gosh, this is all too much. Was the murder weapon a thing you'll find the act won't apply? Of course it was the murder weapon, everyone can see that it's as plain as day. So we're all in agreement, are we? That the machine should be stripped?
Objection!
Has yet to perfect his invention, that would seem to be the case, yes. But even so, going to such a trouble and expense to create a fake machine to display in public, he would have absolutely no reason to do such a thing. He had an obvious reason to do exactly that? For the money? What are we talking about? If the government was foolish enough to have deemed this man's ridiculous notion plausible, he and his conspirator would have received a handsome sum indeed. What would be the value of such a grand £10? You are an order of magnitude out, madam. £500 a year! Oh wow, could live handsome on that much for years. The society noticed an increase in bogus public demonstrations in the field of science recently, and plenty of scientists argue with each other to get a large slice of the funding cake. People's greed is plenty motive enough for murder, I assure you. Oh, I haven't deceived anyone, least of all the government. My hypothesis is sound, the science is sound. Please, you must believe.
Objection!
Well, you tell me how it doesn't work. No matter how unbelievable the hypothesis may seem to you, ladies and gentlemen, the fact remains that the victim was transported instantaneously to the Crystal Tower. You're gonna say that, Barak? The only person who can have this murder is the accused. No, I did not, Barak. What a roller coaster of emotion. Barak, you defended my research. Barak, you said that I'm a killer? That's like a roller coaster of emotion happening right under our eyes here. I mean, what is Barak trying to do? He's trying to help his friend, he did say that, but at the same time he's like so cold. The prosecution would like to summon new witnesses to the stand. They were spectators of the demonstration of the exhibition who were occupying special seats. That would be Guinea. Or Gina. Let's go Gina. The prosecution's stance is clear. This experiment was most hostage. The accused killed a financier victim there on the public station before the very eyes of the spectator. Now, my learned friend, it's time for you to make your own stance clear. Which is? I can definitely see that. But where does that leave me? He says, we'll prepare its new witnesses take the stand. Alright. Alright. The court is adjourned for 20 minutes. Da-dun, da-dun, da-dun. To be continued. Alright. I think I'm gonna end it here, guys. Seems like the perfect spot to end. Seems like the perfect spot to end right here. 10 minutes over. That's not too bad. Okay. So yes, I'll definitely be coming back on Friday for Splatoon because there is a big run, so that will stay. Tomorrow I might stream FF Rebirth. I might do it tomorrow, so we're gonna see. If I'm not too tired, I have, I need to go cut my hair, I have a little bit of chores because I did not do anything today. So I might see you guys tomorrow, if not definitely on Friday, alright? So do take care of yourself until then. Bye for now.